Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be talking about chakras. Right, why are chakras important? Chakras are extremely important in my therapy that I give to people, and the reason is because the chakras, which are identified as, depending on where the sources are, I know we've got an awful lot more than just 7, which are typical here, and I've actually listed 11, and I'll explain why. But 7 generally tends to be the 1 to 7. So you start off with a root. You've got the sacral, you've got the solar plexus, you've got the heart, you've got the throat, the third eye, and then the crown. Okay, and they're typically the ones, if anybody knows about chakras, that they're typically the chakras that most people know about. Okay, but there are obviously higher chakras going up, and they all have different links. This is not going to be a video about the in-depth knowledge about chakras, but an overall view about why chakras are important. Okay, so when, as a therapist, right, so I do Reiki. I'm a master Reiki practitioner, and one of the first things that I actually do is I actually check the energy, because we are energy as humans, and everything around us is made up of energy. Okay, and we are connected to everything. We are connected to people. We are connected to everything around us on this planet, and everything in the universe. Okay, I'm not going to go into too much detail. There's a huge amount of books out there that will talk about these. This particular one, New Chakra Healing by Cindy Dale. Again, this is just a really, really good book. That book is about 30 years old now. So one of the first things that I will do, even as with my hat on as a psychotherapist or hypnotherapist, especially with my Reiki practice, the first thing that I will do is check someone's chakras. Okay, and tend to just focus on these 7, because they tend to be the ones that, when they become unbalanced, and I've heard the term blocked before, and I don't like the term blocked, because they don't really become blocked. They either become overactive or inactive, and so to me that is a balance. There's kind of a happy medium between a chakra that's kind of balanced in the center here, and it's either unactive or inactive, maybe inactive, or it's overactive, right? Now, why do we say that? There are, like any electrical energy force, it can be overdone or it can't be enough. Okay, and we know from things like batteries in cars, for instance, a battery can become overcharged, or it can be dead. It can lose its power, and that has an impact on what you can do with your car, one way or the other. So it's the same with these energy centers, which are related to various different parts of our body. So an overactive root chakra, for instance, will cause one issue, and an inactive they don't necessarily become damaged, but I would just say become inactive or unbalanced creates another whole host of issues. Okay, so there is an awful lot of information around, and I will make this chart available via my website. It gives a good indication and an explanation here of what it is related to, and the symptoms, if you like. It's a very good way of, as a Reiki therapist, to determine where somebody could be having problems, and that's even really without even asking them any particular questions. Again, like psychotherapy and hypnotherapy, very often people go to a therapist because they already have something that they want to address. Okay, and the same on the Reiki side. Typically on the Reiki side, it's very often focused on health issues. Okay, not so much mental health issues, but physical health issues. And that's where these 7 chakras here, once we tune into somebody's chakras and find out which are unbalanced, you know, which one of these, or all of them, or any of them. I mean, that's the whole point of you know, actually investigating the chakras, is to find out which one is causing the problem, and then, you know, helping that to become rebalanced again. Now, the idea of this chart is to also show that not only do we have these energy centers in us, but they are connected to external, if you like, surrounding and external energy centers. So again, you know, the range of colors that I've done here are not necessarily the real color of someone's aura, but it's showing the relation between which level. Okay, you know, we have these different levels of layers, if you like, going back to that analogy of an onion. You know, and when one of those is disconnected, very often, you know, if we have the solar plexus channel that is either overactive or inactive, you know, is unbalanced, that has a knock-on effect on the aura that surrounds the body, and its energy and interactions with other people. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. And so, you know, we're very much talking about, if you like, the ethereal side of the connection between our physical body, our spiritual body, and the external, you know, the external body, if you like, or the external energy, you know, the external energy fields around us. That all has a knock-on effect. Now, some people are actually really quite sensitive. They can actually see these. I can only maybe see 1 or 2. It's not something I'm a specialist in, but some people can actually see quite a lot of these, and others you will never be able to see, because they're, you know, we talk about higher plane levels that they're not necessarily detectable with our human eyes, but or our energy eyes. Okay. But yeah, so what's the reason why I went up to 11 and only 11, and of course you can just keep going, is because as a Reiki practitioner, we tend to initiate the chakra, the 11th chakra, which is our hands and feet, okay, which allows us to channel the life force energy to help somebody, you know, if they can't do it themselves, that helps somebody to try and rebalance their chakras and to, you know, focus the life force energy in the area that they have a problem with, their lungs, or, you know, heart, or muscles, or whatever, you know, circulatory system, endocrine system, etc. And so, you know, we then I personally will focus on finding out which of these chakras is actually imbalanced first and go from there. I mean, that's typically how I do it. But I can also do that from sitting next to somebody or sitting across from somebody in the same room. So very often I will find out from somebody, you know, if they come to me for psychotherapy or hypnotherapy, that I can see that there is an imbalance there, because obviously that has a knock-on effect for our mental health as well. So, you know, very often it's an indicator if somebody's come to you because they feel they're anxious, or they're depressed, or, you know, they have areas of trust issues or communication issues, that actually does relate to a chakra here. So, you know, as I say, everything is linked together. And so in my opinion, it's always important that you make sure that your chakras are actually in tune, balanced, and all working together is an ideal situation. That you don't have this, you know, overactive or inactive chakra center, this chakra energy that's causing a problem. So anyway, I hope you found that useful, and I hope to see you again in another video soon.